Alcyonius principle. Move your foe into terrain in which he is most vulnerable. And I doubt we will be able to do that in today's video, but I'm pretty sure we can pulverize that terrain. So I welcome you in another video from Flashpoint Campaign's Southern Storm cross-checking scenario. We are continuing our preparation to finally start it. So as far as I remember, last time we've deployed our units, so now it's about time to set up all SOPs, the most interesting part, fortunately. Okay, so let's start with mechanized infantry. I think we can assign same SOPs for all of those units. So let's go here to SOP manager, default SOP of course, and tactical initiative, generous. Yeah, I think I should leave them a bit more initiative and try to avoid that kind of direct control. And that's because mostly of the quite rough terrain, quite complex situation will be, I guess, dynamic, and I would like my units to adjust to the situation going on, because since terrain is complex, the enemies can show up pretty much everywhere. And because those line of sight things are also quite complex, I don't think I can really provide 100% direct control over my unit. That's why we'll give them generous tactical initiative. We will also set up acceptable losses to moderate. This is something we have to accept, unfortunately, because we are attacking the urban area. So avoiding any casualties it's almost impossible to strive for. So it is what it is. We have to accept those casualties. We have to agree on those terms. But okay. Preferred standoff range. I think 0 hexes. It doesn't really make sense to set up any standoff range while we cannot really maximize the effectiveness of Carl Gustav grenade. Well, is Carl Gustav regarded as ATGM? No, it's the grenade launcher, right? Yeah, that's recoil reverse rifle. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I really want to maximize its range. And again, the same reason, quite complex and rough terrain. So it is what it is. Fire discipline, well, we'll of course go for maximum range, because why not? Relocate when? Oh god, this is a problematic one. I feel like the after all fire missions could work well. But I usually don't like how units behave while they have all of those relocate when orders. So I think I will go for never, like always. And movement, we will set up concealment, I guess. Yeah, let's go for concealment only. Passengers disembark at range 1 from end of path. Actually, I feel like I would like to increase it to 2, which is 1 kilometer from the from end of path. And also we can go for 2 from enemy, because why not? This is because mounted units are way more vulnerable to enemy fire. I regard APCs as a tool to deliver your units close to the front line, but not to the front line directly. So if we know that we are assaulting some positions, we know where the enemies are. I don't want to use those APCs to be even spotted and hit by either enemy artillery, enemy ATGMs, enemy grenade launchers, because APCs are ridiculously vulnerable. They are fine to protect your units against mortar fire, light barrage or something, even small arms fire. But since we are going to fight in a very complex, rough terrain, a lot of woodlands, a lot of urban areas, those APCs shouldn't be used at all. So the goal is simply to deliver units quite close, dismount, and then operate on foot. So yeah, that's why I'm thinking that we could even go for 1.5 from end of path. But okay, let's go for 2. Carriers went empty. Hide nearby. There's no need to support. I know they have those 50 cal Browning. Or actually, let's go for support passengers. They have those 50 cal Brownings. We don't really need to care much about them, about those vehicles, because we are not planning to move around the map to try to regroup some kilometers far away from the main target. So I think it's fine if those carriers will try to support us. Actually, 50 cals are quite effective, so let's be honest. And now we have recovery. So let's just switch that readiness. Let's type in 70, which is a reasonable number. In terms of resupply trigger, I think I will decrease it down to 15, and that's it. And we can now apply to all units of same type. And that includes also HQs, as far as I see, which is... I don't think it's fine. Let's uncheck HQs. I don't really need them here. A3 HQs, and also that's the anti-tank HQ. Okay. Let's proceed and apply to this in later unit orders. And now, well, do we need to care about that that point? I don't think so, because we are going to move all those units. So that's fine. Okie dokie. What's next? Maybe HQs for those infantry units. Let's see the SOP. Let's go for default. Tactical initiative, generous, acceptable losses minimal, preferred standoff range, 3 hexes, let's increase it even to 4. Fire discipline, what kind of weaponry you have. Okay, so hold on to fire on, I guess. That's the best thing to do. Relocate when after receiving any fire. Maybe, yeah, any fire. Movement preference, concealment and roads both. Passengers disembark at range 1 from end of path. 0 from end of path. Usually those units are designed to simply retreat. And 0 from enemy. Carriers when empty. Support passengers as well. I know in that case it's a bit more wise to keep those vehicles intact. But if enemies decide to attack us, I feel like those vehicles should also support. And what else? Well, recover to 70%. Now we can apply to this and later unit orders. Oh, apply to all units of same type. Are we going to apply that to all of our HQs? I think so. Maybe we'll increase the preferred standoff range for... oh, that's the... What? Interesting. That's the battalion HQ. That's the company HQ. Is that the regimental HQ? Very interesting. Do we have that unit, by the way? I haven't noticed that before. Okay, either way, let's apply those SOPs to all units of same type. Good. The problem with them, though, is that we have to... Is that HQ it's going to follow my units? Well, I would like to set up in Pfaffingen. Okay, Pfaffingen. Okay, that's a tough one. Okay, so let's move it a bit closer. Okay. Well, what's now? Do we want to give them orders to move first, or set SOPs for other units? Maybe let's set SOPs for other units. Let's go to recon now. Let's edit SOP. Let's switch to default. Preferred standoff range. I'm sorry, let's start with tactical initiative generous. That's fine. Acceptable losses minimal. Correct. Oh, it applied. Wait a second. That's the HQ, right? Well, I think that's okay. That's really okay. Okay, so we can close it. Let's go to subunit. Here we should edit SOP. Yes, sir. So tactical initiative generous, that's okay. Acceptable losses minimal. Actually, there's only 1 unit, so preferred standoff range 2 hexes. I think this is optimal. 1 kilometer from the threat. Fire discipline. Hold until fired on. No reason to fire. Relocate when after receiving any fire. Movement, concealment, of course. Rest doesn't really apply. Recover to 70% readiness if needed, and apply to this apply to all units of same type. And what's here? There is an HQ. Let's exclude HQ. First, second, and the third section. All good. Okay. So that's done. Now let's go to our tank platoons. Edit SOP. Boom. Default. Tactical initiative generous. Of course, acceptable losses. I would prefer minimal though. Preferred standoff range 1 hex. That's 500 meters. Let's increase it to 2 hexes. Okay. Fire discipline. Maybe 1. Okay, let's go for 1. Fire discipline. Maximum range. Relocate when. Oh, I think in that case never. Movement preference. Let's go for roads and concealment both. And of course recover to percentage. Readiness 70%. All good? I think so. Apply to all units of same type. And just exclude HQ. That's done. Who else is left? Anti-tank sections. Okay. Edit SOP. Default. Tactical initiative generous as well. Acceptable losses minimal. Wait. I'm thinking that actually 80 anti-tank platoons, anti-tank sections, as well as tanks should have tactical initiative slight. Maybe moderate. Okay, let's change it to slight. Preferred standoff range 2 hexes. Yeah, I think it's okay. I could even increase it to 3. Okay, let's leave it to 2, which is 1 kilometer from the target. Of course, maximum range. Relocate when never. Movement preference concealment only. Recover 70% readiness. Boom. Apply to all units of same type. Is HQ included? No, HQ is not included. Let's proceed. Let's go back to tanks for a moment. Edit SOP default. Let's switch that tactical initiative to slide, and now apply to all units of same type. Just exclude HQ. Perfect. Who else is left? Mortar platoon. Okay. Edit SOP. Default tactical initiative generous. Okay, acceptable losses minimal. How many subunits you have? Oh my god, that's a lot. Preferred standoff range 4 hexes, which is 2 kilometers. Well, 2 kilometers. What's the maximum range? 4.6 kilometers. So maybe down to 3. Fire discipline, of course, maximum range. Relocate when after receiving any fire. Movement preference, both concealment and roads. Rest doesn't apply. Readiness up to 70%. Resupply triggered 25%. That's fine. Oh, I forgot to change that for my anti-tank platoons. Maybe I should do it. So first let's apply to all units of same type. Whoa. Oh, that's also for artillery. I think that's okay for other artillery units, for those all 4 artillery companies. The only thing I'm thinking about change is resupply triggered 25%, but we need to consider that we have those smoke rounds. They also count in. So yeah, let's leave it for 25%. So let's proceed. The only thing, well, let's change that resupply trigger for tanks. Edit SOP. Let's go to default. It's at 25%. Let's decrease it down to 15. Guess what kind of ammunition you have. You have high explosives rounds, you have armor piercing rounds, and high explosives plastic squash head rounds. Oh, that's the first time I see something like that. Okay, yeah, 15%. That should be okay. Apply to all units of same type. Let's exclude HQ. And for AT sections, we'll do the same. Let's go here, edit SOP, switch to default. And what kind of sub-ammunition you have? Okay, sub-ammunition, armament. Yeah, here we have to decrease it down to maybe even 10%. Okay, let's apply to all units. Good. So only HQs are left. Should I really care about that? What's your SOP? Tactical initiative generous, acceptable losses moderate. I'm sorry. Your default one is different. Hold on until fired on. Yeah, that looks okay. Okay. I think everything is set up. Unless we want to change, for example, that HQ. Where is that HQ with? Oh, wasn't that for artillery? Where is artillery? Oh my god, thank you for switching. Yeah, here we have it. That's the regiment. Am I correct? Or again I'm misleading something. Well, I'm pretty sure that 3 dashes are regiment. X is brigade, then double X is division. So yeah, that's the regiment. Okay, the support of full artillery regiment. Pretty massive thing. A lot of artillery pieces. Okay, that's great. So let me take a look at that SOP. Well, that unit. That's my main HQ. That's the battalion HQ. Yeah, that's the battalion HQ. Let's see the default preferred stand of 4. 2 kilometers. I would increase it to 6. And now that's okay. Let's apply to this in later unit orders because I guess we are not going to move them. They will screen. Let's put them to hold position. Okay. So that's done. What's here? That's the B company HQ, right? Indeed it is. Okay, so actually let's put you here to that urban section of Vankheim. And we will put you to, well, first let's go to SOP. Let's switch to default. Let's apply to this and later unit orders. And now let's switch to hold to get that additional defense bonus. Okay, and what's here? There's infantry. Okay, this is fine. Here we have anti-tank platoon section HQ. That's the platoon HQ. Okay, what about your SOP? Okay, let's apply to this and later in orders. Let's switch to hold as well. That's good. Is that everything regarding the HQs? I think so. Okay, now let's finally start giving the orders. So let's go to reconnaissance, and reconnaissance will simply capture the hilltop over here. Let's move deliberate. Boom. Let's commit. You can screen from that location. Here we have HQ. HQ will stay in position. No need to push it further towards the Hageloch area. Let's go to other, HQ. Reconnaissance, that's the 3rd section. Move deliberate to the tip of that, hilltop, whatever it is. Let's also screen. Beautiful. Is it updated with our SOP? Yep, it's good. Now, D company, mechanized infantry. Maybe let's start with HQ. We are going to Pfeffingen. Let's move deliberate over here. We will try to hold that position. And then rest of my units. We would like to get on top of that ridge. So let's go with first platoon. Move deliberate. That's our path of advance. We will screen. Let's grab the second platoon. Similar path, but we'll go over here. Let's also screen. And now let's grab the third platoon. Let's move deliberate. We will slightly switch that over here and there. And let's also screen. We'll try to set up over there. 3 platoons abreast, and then we'll try to advance towards Hageloch, and hoping that we can acquire that area, and then try to advance towards Tübingen from the northwestern side. I'm sorry. Okie dokie. Now let's go to our tanks. Those tanks are supposed to get on top of that ridge, Spitzberg, and provide fire support from that location. So let's grab first, second platoon. You can move hasty. Let's try to follow the road. Ooh. Okay, so let's go to... Okay, for now I'm just going roughly put something like that. Then hold. Let's just nicely draw it. Whoa! Actually, this is okay. Yeah, looks good to me. Totally fine. I'm just wondering what the tank can see from that location. Something we can see. Okay. The other platoon will try to station over there. So let's grab the third platoon. Move. Oh, wait a second. Let's go to second platoon for a while. We need to switch. Last movement order. Deliberate, maybe 2. Let's apply. Just safety measures. Now let's go to the third platoon. Move hasty. We'll try to follow the same road. But we'll slightly switch our route of advance over here up to there. And we'll also try to hold. And let's switch to last orders to move deliberate. Perfect. Quick look at SOP. I don't understand why it's 25%, then restored to 36%. I think I've updated that to be 70%. Let's open SOP though. Default. Recover to percentage. 70. Apply to all units of same type. Just exclude HQ. Is it updated? No, it doesn't update somehow. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. We can't really change that. I don't know. Sometimes it updates here. Sometimes not. Don't get it. Okay, so that's done. Now, that's my main HQ, battalion HQ, so you stay where you are. Here we have anti-tank and tank platoon. Here we have HQ, so let's start with HQ. HQ will try to move back to Weilheim. Move deliberate. Boom, here. You can of course hold to get that additional defense bonus. Tank platoon will advance forward to that little salient, which you can see from that. Decent position. Quite close to the urban area, but it is what it is. So let's advance. You can hold. Anti-tank platoon now. Anti-tank platoon will try to move forward to that little salient as well. Let's grab you. Move deliberate forward. You can hold as well. Next is infantry again. Infantry for now will stay where they are. So let's just update their default order. So apply to this and later unit orders. Let's go to second platoon. Let's just do the same. Default, apply to this and later unit order. And let's go to the third platoon. We'll do the same. So your current order is updated with default SOP, which is the plan. HQ will stay the back, which is correct. And then let's go to another tank platoon. That tank platoon is supposed to... It's a great question. Maybe I will just stay here for a while. What about that anti-tank platoon? Okay. What if we get closer? Nothing special, to be fair. Okay, so you guys, I will just leave it as you are for now, because I don't really have a plan for now. We have to know what's going on here around Derendingen. Okay, Derendingen. But we will try to push infantry forward. So here we have mortar and infantry. Let's grab first platoon, B company. We will move deliberate. Let me move it slightly back. We'll try to advance up here. Let's commit. Let's screen. Let's grab second platoon. Second platoon will also try to advance forward. Well, wait a second. I feel like it's a bit too risky. For now, let's advance up here. Let's delete those waypoints, just for now. You guys only 1 hex forward. Let's commit. Let's screen. You guys stay in position. It's a good position. Let's just update your screen order with default one. Same about that HQ. I think we currently updated that. Yeah, this is updated. So here we have anti-tank section. Here we need to update it. Default, apply to this and later unit orders. Let's switch to hold also to get additional defense bonus. I always remind about that. I'm sorry, reconnaissance. Reconnaissance can stay where they are. Let's just update their current order with default options. Perfect. And last 80 section. You guys, we will switch you to hold. Let's apply. And we need to update that order with latest changes to default SOP. And that's done. Who is left? Our air assets are left. Let's modify their SOP. Of course, tactical initiative generous, acceptable losses minimal, preferred standoff range 3 hexes. What if I can increase it to... Those Mavericks. What if I want to use only Mavericks? 23 kilometers range. Let's increase your standoff range up to... Oh, 12 is maximum. So let's increase it to 10, which is 5 kilometers. Okay. Of course, maximum range. After taking any losses... relocate when? After each fire mission? I don't know. Oh, it doesn't apply. Okay. Never mind. And here, readiness trigger. I would like to recover to 70% readiness if needed. Probably will not apply. It's applied to all units of same type for both. And also apply to this in later unit orders. Let's go for the second wing. Apply to this in later unit orders. And there is something I think I've mentioned last time. I would like to have a way to precisely set up type of missions. So I just want to perform standoff missions with Maverick rounds. That's it. I don't want to use any other kind of weaponry. I don't want to perform any closer support missions. Only Maverick rounds. If we find the tank or some other vehicle we would like to destroy, let's call for air support. I don't know whether we can call it the close air support mission. I think it's more like a standoff mission, but the munition is guided by the forces on the ground. And this way, I would like to, well, preserve my my air assets because they are invaluable throughout the campaign and throughout the mission. You don't want to risk your assets if you are not sure whether you achieve the 100%. It's always problematic, but in general, the air superiority in the region, or at least you know that enemy air defense systems are completely suppressed. So unfortunately, we cannot do that here. So usually it ends up with your air assets dropping down because Russians usually have a lot of air defense systems capable of destroying your closer support. It is what it is. I think you've noticed that multiple times. So manpads are quite ineffective against jets because jets are simply too quick for manpads to being able to target them and fire the round. Usually you have that information put forward by some forward observers, so the guy with manpart is prepared for jet to show up somewhere in the area from certain direction, and that information has to be provided beforehand, which is usually very, very problematic. Most of the time it doesn't happen. Like, manpads are responsible for eliminating helicopters, but with jets, fighter jets, or fighter bombers, it usually doesn't happen. You have to have some kind of medium or long range air defense systems to be able to destroy them, and actually Russians have a lot of them. So okay, let's close that and quickly look at last thing, which is artillery. Here we need to update your SOPs. Let's go to default, apply it to this in later unit orders. Let's go to the second one, on call. Let's apply to this in later unit orders. Third company as well, making sure we selected the proper one, apply to this and later unit orders. And the fourth one, which will come as a reinforcement in about 1 hour 30 minutes. Same stuff, default, boom, close, everything is done. What else? They are under FSCC control. They are. Okay, so hopefully that's gonna work. It should work, but we'll find out soon. And I guess everything is done at that point. So I have 32 minutes already. I think we can end video, and in the next one, we'll finally start the first command cycle. So I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully see you in the next one, where, as I've mentioned, we'll finally start the first command cycle and see how well the Russians can defend the Tübingen area, or how well we can attack that area, or at least try to pulverize it. So anyway, once again, thank you and see you next time. Goodbye.